Unleash your inner history buff as we take you on an epic time-traveling adventure. In today's video, we'll journey back through the ages, unearthing hidden history and fascinating tales that shaped our world. Whether you're a history buff or just curious, this adventure promises to expand your horizon. Sit back and enjoy an adventure with the lads on the trails.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, Lads on the Trails. You join us back today at Heaton Park for part 2 of this video. If you've not seen part 1, head back and watch part 1. In the last episode, what we discovered was Heaton Hall here. We told you some information about that in regards to who lived there, which was Thomas Edgerton and his wife Elizabeth. And it was designed by James Wyatt, was it? Wyatt, yep. I did think I got his name wrong last time. He was a 26-year-old architect. And yes, so today we're going to show you some other places around there. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell and you'll be notified when we release another video. Hope you enjoy. Hi guys, you join us here back at Heaton Park, and this behind me here is actually what's classed as a pepper pot, and it was built by Lewis Wyatt in 1806 for the Earl, which lived at the main hall, which is back that way. And as I say, it was built in 1806, and it was built as like a cottage. So as you can see, it is a very unusual shape. Apart from it being a cottage, it was actually built so that then from the hall up that way, you could actually view it in a romantic setting. And then later it became the lockkeeper's house. Now the lodge's name actually comes from a blacksmith forge. Yeah, blacksmith forge, I think it's called, which was located on Middleton Road, which is this road, which you should be able to just see behind us here. And there was a blacksmith there, and that's where it came from, and that's like from the heath what they used and stuff like that. So now what I believe this is actually used for, it's actually used for like a cottage which you can rent, hire basically as accommodation. So that's what it's used for these days as well. So guys, you now join us at what is the stable block behind me here. That was built for Sir Thomas Edgerton, and it was built by Samuel Wyatt. Now, the stables was actually built between 1777 and 1789, and now it's actually a Grade 2 listed building. So yeah, as I say, it's Grade 2 listed. It is the stables. Now, if I can try and pan us around here, hopefully the equipment plays with us. What you'll actually see behind me here is actually the hall. And there you go, there's the hall. So what you think from the hall there, that's where the stables were, just here behind. And obviously we just been down to the Smithy Lodge, weren't it? And Smithy Lodge is that way. So guys, you actually join us in another part of Heaton Park now, and this behind us here is known as the Dower's House. Now when that was built, it was just plain brick. It didn't have to column or anything. Basically that column was added later in 1805 when this was built. So it's just normal brick, and that's just a facade, if you like, what they put on it to make it fit in with all the grandeur of the main hall. Now, a Dower's House, what that actually is, it's basically a accommodation block, if you like. And when the main man of the house, so in this case, someone like Sir Thomas Edgerton, if he had died when Elizabeth was alive, Elizabeth would have had to move into that house. And that was why these were actually built. So anywhere where there were a big manor house and stuff like that, you know, this would have been built, and that's where the wife would have had to live once the husband had passed away. So the women never had any rights to the main house, which you couldn't get away with that these days. It's like, and it's just crazy that they had to move out of the main house and then someone else would move into that main house, I should imagine. Now this is known as the temple. Now this is the highest point in the park, and it was built in 1800, if I remember correctly, by James Wyatt. It's actually grade 2 listed as well, and this is the highest point in the park, and it overlooked the day park. As you can see, it has its own fireplace. It's thought to have been used as an observatory by the Earl of Walton, and he actually had his own like telescope here, and I think if I remember right, it cost in today's money about £18.25. As you can see, the hall's just in the distance over there. So we've come into what is the stabling area and the farm area. And just notice this carriage. Oh, and another peacock, everyone. So there's quite a few of the peacocks there. But wow, look at the carriage. Reminds me of what we've seen at Heaton Hall in our video for that. But yeah, another little peacock. Little donkey, little donkey, little donkey. So yeah, I'm so good at singing, everyone. Hello. Hello. You alright? Little donkey, little donkey. You think you're a weirdo, you pal? Hello. Hey, Billy. Hey, Bill. How you doing, pal? Hey, Billy, get here. Billy. Hiya, mate. I've named you Billy, you don't mind, do you? You were just making all the racket a minute ago, weren't you, Hey? Get quiet now, ain't you, Billy? Hiya. Oh, it's a lot of lamb, didn't it?
Correct me if I'm wrong, though, there's a lot more animals here.
Yeah, they did. Oh, what are you after? Say hi to everyone on YouTube. Say hi, you then. Say hi, YouTube. And here we have Taz with his cup of tea. £2.95. £2.95. Could have got some tea bags and gone home after that. Didn't even cost me that to get here on the tram. Jesus, I've just been robbed. Just been robbed at the park, everybody. We have some info on this. Okay, so this is the actual boating lake. It was built between 1908 and 1912, and it was actually built by unemployed men. And all what they used to build this was actually shovels and hand-pulled like trucks. So they didn't have any proper machinery, anything like that. And this lake is actually 12 acres. So could you imagine building that? And all you had was shovels and these carts. It's like, it goes to show, doesn't it, what actually went into building something. And when you've got all that kind of money, they don't care, do they? They just use and abuse people, really, as they say. So this is actually the tramway. Now, this isn't the actual tramway. This is where the original tramway were back in the day. This is the other part which they built where they can store, I think there's 14 trams in there. And this was actually extended, if I remember correctly. If you look here as well, it's actually doubled here. So did it used to come across as two lines? Or was that what they were going to do? Yeah, I believe the Tram Museum and the tramway at the moment is actually shut, as there's been some substation issue and they need a new part, but because of how old the system is, then they need to basically redo the whole thing for it, so they're working on that at the moment. As you can see, there's the hall as well, just up there. The stables and everything over that side, and the temple just up there. And this is where the tram runs. So yes, we're coming down to where the actual Tram Museum is. I don't think it's open, like I say, at the moment, so not too sure we can go in. But we'll give you a bit more info on it down there as well. So here we are at the Tramway Museum. Now this, it was actually extended from the road, which you can just see down the bottom there. And it was after it was brought by the Manchester Corporation. And the first tram to arrive here was in 1903. And in 1934, buses were actually outdoing the tram system, if you like. And people were taking to buses more, as we always learn, you know, something new comes along, people go to that, don't they? And that's basically what happened. So the tram system ended up disconnecting from the main line down where that road is, because obviously that used to be the main tram route down there. So it disconnected from them, and it just left this section here. And the initial idea was to construct a new tramway from the Grand Lodge to the Heaton Hall. And it was considered quite expensive due to the work required, because it needed a lot of work doing and stuff. So they, in the end, they just settled for a new scheme to open up to from the old trams area, which is this here, just down to that section down there. And that's all what they did. And obviously over the years, what's happened, like that was completed, I believe, in 1979 and officially opened in the 80s. And over the years, obviously, they've extended it through the park and stuff like that, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong anyway. But yeah, it is nice coming out in the summer, and you can see all the trams on display here. But yeah, this used to collect, like I said, down there to Middleton Road, I believe that's called down there. And that would connect onto the main tram, so you could go that way. And that would have probably took you like Rochdale way, Oldham, I'd say. And then that way would have took you to like Cheetham Hill, Blackley, Manchester, areas like that. So yeah, but it's absolutely lovely here. It's well worth coming. I don't think it's that expensive when they are running. Like I say, they've got the problem at the moment with this substation, so nothing's actually running, as you can tell if you just look at the track work here. It's been a while since something's ran along here. And I do believe they had a few problems previous to that, weren't it? Wasn't some of the lines stolen or something as well? Something like that, weren't it?
We've had a few problems over the years.
Yeah, so yeah, but no, I don't know whether they open this on a weekend or not, because it does have some real interesting stuff in there. It's just sure it's not open today because we would have took you in and shown you around. So guys, you join us now at the Grand Lodge, which is behind me here. This was commissioned by Sir Thomas Egerton in 1807, and the person who he got to do that was James Wyatt, and that is the nephew of Samuel and James. Now the Grand Lodge, it's actually built of sandstone, and it comprises of 2 floors, believe it or not. And over the arch there is actually a loft attic, if you like. And this was actually the carriageway all the way up to the house, and it was the longest one in the park. And it also had cellars to the west wing here. So yeah, it was actually accommodation as such as well. So you see the grandness of that. Like I say, it was built in 1807. And yeah, look, it's built of sandstone, like I say. And it would have been 2 stories. So we'll go out the other side, I think, and we'll see whether there's anything on the other side as well. So did it have 2 separate entrances? One to the west wing and one to the east wing? Yeah, I wonder if it did. And there was the living quarters for the lockkeeper on either side of the arch, joined by steps across the top of the roof. It's now available, this, for weekend breaks and holiday lessons. So yeah, you can see the grandeur of what it would have been like. And like I say, this would have led you straight up to the hall. It was the longest carriageway. So this is where the horses and carts would have come through. And they would have led straight up to the hall. And we've obviously walked from the hall where we've been filming. And yeah, it is quite a long walk as well. You know, it probably took about 20 minutes. But it's definitely worth a visit here. So guys, you join us on the last part of this adventure, and where we are at the moment, it's actually called, I'm going to try and pronounce this right, so if I do get it wrong, I apologise, a Conade, I think that's what it's called, but I'll put it underneath, and yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, I probably still won't get it, but anyway, so this is the last place which we're going to visit here today, and that will bring the Heaton Park Part 2 to an end. Now, what that actually is a Conade is evenly spread with its pillars, as you can see. And it's normally supporting a roof structure. Now you're probably thinking, but what used to be there? Did there used to be a house? Or what roof was it supporting? Well, that's the thing. It was actually supporting the old town hall in Manchester on King Street. So like I say, yeah, it was for the old town hall in King Street in Manchester. And there was a campaign when they were demolishing the town hall in Manchester to obviously build what is now the town hall. And basically, people started a campaign for it. And yeah, this is what we see now. It was saved and it was put here next to the boating lake. And as you can see, it's got 2 statues in it. one there and one over here. And it's got 4 columns. But yeah, so what do you think that would have been holding up? Like the roof structure and the front facade of the town hall in Manchester, of the old town hall.
There's another ghost story around here of the Bolton Lake, around Heaton Park, of a woman being seen dressed in white around this lake, either that island or that island over there. I don't know which way the island it is, but she's been spotted a few times dressed in white. There's been stories of tram bells ringing at night. Workers have mentioned about hearing tram bells ringing non-stop. There's been stories of Heaton Park where the soldiers are marching at night and people hear them marching. It's only been stories though, correct me if I'm wrong or not, but people have said they've heard soldiers marching. So guys, that's the tour of Heaton Park Part 2. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like and hit the notification bell if you can, please. Thanks again, guys. Keep safe and keep adventuring.